Hello and welcome to podcast 336 of the 5-Star Potential, your weekly Football Manager podcast. I'm Duke, and on this week's pod, I'm joined by Joe, aka Friday Night FM, Paul, aka Mad FM, and Dave, aka John Darwin. I'll let that one sit just for a little bit.
Thank you.
We've got a full squad this week now that Mad and Dave has completed their commitments to other podcasts. Clearly more important to this one. But that being said, on this week's pod, there'll be some great updates from our FM24 saves. We'll probably go somewhere obscure for a terrible adventure in Wonder Kid Land. And PC Jack McLaren is on quiz duty. But before we do all of that, gentlemen, honestly, I don't even read this before. I just read it out. Let's have your winners and your losers of the week. Joseph, who is your winner and why is it David?
I don't know, mate. What did I actually write? Hang on, 2 seconds.
James Milner, Wayne Rooney, and Sean Dyche.
Oh, yeah, good reference, that one. That's the Portuguese recruitment process for new managers in my familiar cow save. James Milner has won a league title. Sean Dyche has won a league title. And Wayne Rooney got sacked. He didn't actually get sacked, to be fair. He got poached.
Where did he go?
By who?
Everton.
Wow.
So he was at Benfica, top of the league with Benfica. And then Everton sacked Sean Dyche, employed Wayne Rooney, and then Sean Dyche got the Benfica job.
That's so weird.
That's mad, isn't it?
And in a really big plot, like roundabout way, the season after James Milner won the Portuguese league, he got sacked for finishing fourth.
Where was he now?
Tough life.
I've no idea, mate. I don't know.
So at that time, the top three had English managers?
I'm Portuguese in game.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I think the sporting manager is Portuguese. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Because, Benfica, they had Hansi Flick, then Wayne Rooney, and then Sean Dyche. Porto had Vincent Kompany and then James Milner.
Fair enough.
Joe, do you have many leagues, like actual playable leagues running?
Yeah, all the good ones, mate.
Okay. It's so English heavy. It's a weird one. Obviously, like, if your manager was English, maybe I would think more of it. But
3 managers.
No, he's a bit weird for him to go to Portugal.
When has there been 3 English managers in the Portuguese league? But it is Football Manager, so we live in a dream.
Yeah, not sure why the bias is there, but maybe it's because of their reputation. Maybe. They get offered the job, or maybe Jorge Mendes is now a manager agent as well.
Bosh.
Guess we'll never know. As you got a lot to say, Matt, who's your winner of the week?
I always have a lot to say. My winner of the week is me for having a lot to say, but in blog format, because for the first time, I think it's actually since the end of November, I wrote a blog about my saves. So after we did the pod last week, I was like, great, I'm in the mood now. I'm gonna play a ton of FM. But because I hadn't,
was that a Newcastle one? Because you weren't here last week, mate.
Maybe it's week before.
He was here last week.
I think I was here last.
Yeah,
week.
he did the quiz.
He done that shit African quiz, didn't he?
I'll be completely honest with you.
Quiz.
Fucking.
I don't know how, but I've just managed to get pink grapefruit out my nose after that comment. Just took a sip and it just come out my nose.
This be for YouTube and YouTube alone. So yeah, I was about to kind of dive into it and get right back on the FM horse in the Ike save, and then I kind of realized I was probably about a season behind. It was just the timeline was all weird because the season ran from February to February, so it was like it just felt freaking really long. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sit down and lash out a blog post to kind of bring myself up to speed. And so I won't have much of a save update, but I'm happy that I've written a blog because it's been 2 months.
Awesome work.
Did the image work on Twitter after all?
It did, yeah.
Because I saw it about 7 o'clock this morning whilst I was having a poo, and I see the image was broken for the image. And I was like, I mentioned that, and I totally forgot.
I feel like this Twitter thing is sporadic because I tweeted that this morning from my laptop, opened it on my phone, and it was working. But often I've done it before and it hasn't worked. So obviously that's the first time I heard it didn't work. I don't know if it's worked since, Joe, but
yeah, it's on there. It's working now.
Elon has really made Twitter X a glorious place for content.
Well done for fixing it, Mad. David, winner of the week.
Wolves for having a Black Country derby confirmed. So yeah, we beat Brentford in the FA Cup replay. But yeah,
I can get the audio.
I mean, you say we made hard work of it. I felt in both ties we were pretty much in control. First game we had 10 men. Even on Tuesday, although we conceded twice, we always look decent. So yeah, it will be the first time we played West Brom with fans, because obviously we played them during COVID, but first time we played them with fans for 12 years. Last time we played them was when McCarthy got sacked. So a long time. Looking forward to it.
Long time listener, first time question. Will you be building a bonfire?
Mate, that'll be going. There's also they were doing all the rendition, always shit on a Tesco carrier bag. Now all sorts. Because their shit looked like a Tesco.
But
because they used to have Tesco as their sponsor and they had blue and white stripes.
Right. Okay.
good marketing.
Yeah,
Will you be on a podcast saying West Brom are gash?
It's a risky one, that is it. Maybe after the game, unless I put my bollocks on the line and do it pre-pod. But I thought we haven't won at the Hawthorn since '96, so not in my lifetime have we won there. So
wasn't even born then.
Yeah,
Is this
match?
Is this quite possibly one of the it's not
Shittiest
one of the
massive
big
derbies.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Basically, like I am not interested in it one bit. I'd sit and I'd watch Liverpool versus Everton. I'd sit and watch the North London derby. But this is just made up shit, isn't it? Just two shit teams.
I think it's because it doesn't happen often enough.
Maybe.
Is it a genuine rivalry though?
Yeah, it's a nasty.
Because I'd get fucking my Twitter is full of Wolf shit.
Yeah,
Went to one game anyway, and then fucking my Twitter's now full of it.
Dazzling Dave for you,
But it's honestly everyone seems like bang up for it on Twitter.
Yeah,
and again, I wouldn't have ever kind of gone, oh yeah, that's one of them massive derbies.
It's only because Dave mentioned it that I realized.
I've had someone. I've already had a guy from America message me saying, "Do you think I could fly to America and get a ticket? I'd offer £500 for one."
It's the wrong way, mate.
Yeah, but I said
it's in Birmingham.
Yeah,
well, yeah, not in America.
Fly from Alabama.
Fly from America to England for the match and pay £500. I said someone would probably sell their ticket, but it's finding someone that would sell it for £500 for you. So I said, that's a bit mad to me, but no, it's a big rivalry. I just don't think it happens often enough for fans like worldwide to understand how big a derby it is. Really,
It was the same with the Tyne Weir derby when Newcastle played Sunderland. Like that was 8 years since the last one. So like, it wasn't when they were in the same league. It became more common, and Sunderland actually have a very good record.
Come on, lads! You've
even
done
though
your
they're
podcast this week. Come on,
Yeah, true.
wind it up.
Even though they're in different divisions and the gap is quite big, it was just because it had been so long. So I guess it's the same day, right?
The thing is with Newcastle Sunderland though, I think like even when the cup draw was on, they were like everyone's like, oh my god, Newcastle at Sunderland.
But do you not think that's because it's a two-team place? Like with
Newcastle, one team city, and it's a region.
Yeah,
but like for example, like you lot have got like 17 decent teams around you, so it's not like could be Birmingham, could be Villa. Because I mean, in my personal opinion, the Villa would be a bigger derby because you're both in the Premier League, bigger team, the biggest team.
Do you not think Birmingham is probably the biggest derby?
Birmingham Villa,
Villa,
for me.
No, Birmingham Villa. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because not local to it, but it doesn't feel like.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So, like, when the cup draw was on, no one reacted to West Brom Wolves, like no one. And then all the Wolves fans were getting wound up, like, why have they not reacted to that? But like, I suppose it's one of those. It's we just haven't played him. I think if we played them every year in the Premier League or whatever, or
Championship
in the league, whatever,
probably.
it probably wouldn't be as big a deal. But I think it's because we haven't played him so long. We've got like a score to settle, and it's probably the first time in a while that we have got a. Not saying it's going to work in our favour. There's an obvious gap between the two teams. We've always been quite close to them. So
can you wait till you lose?
How are you going to deal with the altitude?
Say again.
Yeah, highest ground in the Football League.
Can't wait, mate.
A genuine.
Yeah, no, he's.
Yeah. So they've got a title that you don't.
What a shit fact.
Put that in the trophy cabinet.
Have they treated the away ends to a bar in the stand?
Dressed in our colours.
Wolves colours, which I still don't understand why that was such a big deal.
I don't think that's a terrible idea.
I think it'll be very, very hostile. So I'll keep my head down.
I think we need an old school as a party match day vlog. I want to know what it's like to be behind enemy lines, even if it is Tesco.
See if you can get the Goosey Boys singing.
All right, they'll be singing. The atmosphere will be great. The atmosphere will be very, very good.
Is it on TV?
Yeah, mate. 11:45 a.m. kickoff.
Oh, what channel? Just so I know what not to watch.
ITV1. ITV1.
Channel 4 that day then.
That's what I
Right.
said, McDonald's breakfast before you go, mate. Result.
Bosh.
My winner of the week is probably me. I'm going to go selfish. I've actually not
In
missed a
Miami.
stream this week. I mean, how good is that?
That's
3
very
in a
good.
row.
Very
Can't
good.
win on stream, but 3 in a row. Happy days. Right, let's fire through these ones though. Losers of the week. Joe, I've got a big loser here. And it's mad. What's your loser?
Big club bias. And I'm just going to
Okay.
go back to saying that I think it's difficult to say. When I'm playing in a league where we're clearly a lesser side, the big clubs do fuck all, and then all of a sudden you see an animation, highlight, or something that you don't see in any other games happen to affect a game. And it's like you notice it Premier League, like you'll play Man United, Man City, maybe Chelsea, maybe Arsenal, maybe but there you'll see animations of the bigger clubs, like the bigger stature clubs that you don't see in other games. And it's like, and they can have nothing in the game, and all of a sudden something happens. It's like bang, 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 goal, and it pisses me off really.
Is it when it kind of happens at speed? You kind of like the passes kind of accelerate.
It can be, but
I've
it could just be
noticed that.
something like when you watch FM, you see the same patterns of play. It's
Yeah.
it's very similar because you're playing the same tactics. So how you play and how it plays against you is often the same. But you just see a random, like it can be something really random, like your goalkeeper doing something stupid, which then gives them an opportunity to score. And it's like it's sometimes when you play FM and you score a goal, and then immediately they score, it's like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, so we give them a goal back. Like, how many times have you seen that in FM? And it's like that when you play, like for me, Benfica, Porto, not so much Sporting, but definitely Benfica and Porto. Every time I play them, there's some random shit happens, and it's like it's so demoralising when you're trying to kind of grind out those results. Like when you go, when Benfica are losing one game in a season, like. It's simply impossible to overturn that when you can't beat them because you just see random shit. Might be just my opinion, just something I've seen in the game, but it fucking winds me up.
I think that's
It
a
really
fair
grinds
shout.
my gears.
I have to agree with you with some of that, to be honest. But I'm sure we'll hear a bit more about Portugal later. Paul, who's your loser of the week?
Isn't the government name?
Yeah, it's my real name. Jordan Henderson.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't like Sunderland. I don't like Liverpool. I don't really like Jordan Henderson. Just to see him making all this fuss when he was moving over, and it was all up on his high horse, and it's just gone to shit. He's come back. Apparently, he didn't even make any money. I don't know.
People
No,
not
he's
allowed to
gone
make
to
mistakes, Paul?
I
I mean, clearly you've made a mistake with that haircut. So, right, people not allowed to make
Wow.
mistakes.
It's gone straight for my physical appearance. Thanks, dude.
Physical, is it? It's just your hair.
I don't know. Like, I mean, what mistake did he make? They didn't like
Okay,
the
I mean,
climate.
no, sorry,
They
so,
didn't
like,
there was.
Mad. Right.
Yeah.
Let's just say a podcast comes into play. They offer you a lot more money than you pay us to be on this podcast. And they,
Let's change it.
have some-
Scouted football coming for you.
yeah, scout football.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
what's
can't do any
the
blogs,
bloke he
can't-
loves?
Sam Ty, but it's not really the same thing.
Okay.
Scouted,
Stop that,
scouted
Rugby.
football. He girths that, doesn't he? So
Yeah, so scout football come in. They say, look, we want you.
you have
However-
to only blog for us. You can't blog for anybody else.
Yeah, sole use.
We're going to pay you.
We'll pay you a lot of money. We just have some questionable reviews, allegedly. Would you go there?
What am I blogging
Yes.
about? FM?
Yeah,
Could be anything, mate.
anything. Blog about your
Just
fucking
can't- I
day.
just have
It's
to
Not
not
be-
your
human
hair.
I
rights
just
or
have
anything
to
like
meet
that.
you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if I came to you lads and said that somebody else wants me to go to their podcast, you'd be fucking delighted. So
Yes, I know what you're trying to fair, man.
And that's
What
how
I'm
Liverpool
getting at-
fans felt.
Yeah, what I'm getting at, Mad, right, is like it's a difficult thing to turn down at his age, right? Granted,
I know, but he made such a song and dance of it not being about that.
Yeah.
That's where I am. Like,
But it's not about the money if he ain't fucking earning, is he?
I was gonna say he's not stayed.
because he's
He
made.
doesn't earn the money. He's not stayed, so it's not. It's just not worked for him. Different
I
climate.
think, I
he's
think
not used
any
to.
players towards the end of their careers can go anywhere if the money's there because football they earn a lot of money, but their career's short. So fuck it, go there.
Totally
But
agree.
At the end of the day, he's not
Totally
going
agree.
out there fucking chopping people's hands off.
No,
No, he's going out there
No,
to
I
play
totally
football.
agree. It was more about
15 people.
all the statements he was making about it not being about money and believing in
Yeah, but
whatever.
I have to
whatever football,
admit,
and
the fact that he's clearly made a mistake, absolutely hands up. He's turned around and he said, "It's not worked out for me. It's not, I've decided to come back after 6 months." He could have just sat there, and he could have sat there for 2 years earning all that big money. At least he's kind of gone, "I've made a mistake."
I read the article though that apparently, I think you alluded to, Mad. There's a chance that he gets none of his money because
he's
he
not, because you have to stay there long enough because of all the
he
taxes
deferred
and
his
stuff.
payments or something, didn't he? Yeah,
Defer is not being paid though.
yeah,
Is
but
it?
because he's terminated
Is
his
that the language?
contract,
Right.
yeah, there's a chance they might not ever pay him.
So imagine kicking all
I
that.
think it
fuss
might go
up.
to court or like solicitor, but I mean, this is a whole different subject. So
Yeah,
Imagine
that's,
a Man United fan defending Jordan Henderson as much as
I'm not
stupid.
defending Jordan Henderson. I'm just defending his decision. All I'm saying is like, I have
Just
to
defending the
admit,
human.
I think he's a dickhead for everything that he's done. Hand on heart, I think he's an absolute clown. The way that he can stand up
Nice one,
for
boy.
LGBTQ and all that jazz and then go and do that, very hypocritical. But the fact is, he's a human being. He's clearly made a mistake, and he's kind of gone, "Look, I've made a mistake. I'm coming home." And gone to Ajax, mate. I'll take a
You
chance to
could
go to
spell
Ajax.
LGBTQ plus wrong.
Did I do it wrong? Shit. I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize. No, I'll be honest. Like, I gotta say, look, at least he's made that realization that it was a mistake, and he's come home. We'll see what happens. But I think he has already ruined his
Mate,
legacy.
you're defending him because he's fucking Sunderland. That's the only reason.
I think he has already wrecked his Liverpool legacy. He's already
But
wrecked his
dude,
England
Hey,
legacy.
mate, he didn't have a fucking England legacy. Fuck off.
Yeah, he did.
Mm.
Still gets booed now.
Booed.
Dave.
I was gonna say, I just noticed the sea moving in your background. That's pretty good. That is. They didn't even clap.
It's my house. It's my house.
Yeah.
My house. Right, Dave. Talking about sea moving. Talking about sea biscuit. I don't know something. Just tell us something. Who's your loser?
What a segue.
What
man.
the fuck was that?
No, I'm so fucking tired.
I think
I had to wait hours for Mad.
I'm not sure how many times I mentioned this, but it's the Steam Cloud again. I
was
think
trying
I'm-
to get the cloud in. That was what I was trying to do.
Yeah. I think I've lost out on at least 3 to 4 hours of FM gameplay this week because that Steam Cloud hasn't worked. When I want to go and chill,
No.
Yeah.
Tell the fucking real reason. It's because you're on FaceTime. All right.
but whilst I'm on FaceTime,
No, but
whilst I'm on FaceTime in bed upstairs, I could have
Having a wank.
Yeah, brilliant. I could have a
Can you play
laptop.
FM one-handed, Dave?
Yeah. I could have my laptop on my lap playing FM, getting through my pre-season, just But no,
Imagine
the Steam
that.
Cloud
You're
doesn't wanna
talking
work.
to a new chick and you're playing fucking pre-season.
And now I've tried to use OneDrive and ended up deleting all my documents, so it's not going well.
That
Dave's
sounds
just,
like a
anybody-
big problem.
Dave's just leveled up the playing FM while your wife's having a child in
Yeah,
hospital. You just need to put that picture up, mate. That'll be the new goat.
But if anyone listening understands or can tell me how to reliably get the Steam Cloud working, then thank you very much.
Just fucking paced well through everything we just said there and it just went straight through it.
Yeah.
Can I
No
ask you a
bites.
question, David? David, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
This is a legitimate question, and I'm going to
As
look
long
you
as
in
it's
the
not
eye
about
and
me
ask
on
you.
FaceTime or what,
Oh, we're not allowed to mention her at all. Okay, I don't have a question. No. Have you put it on the forums? Have you marked it as an error, and have you gone to the
Yeah.
forums and said this is a bug? What's happening?
I don't think it'll be a Football Manager book though. It'll be a Steam.
Have
issue.
you asked?
Yeah, but
I'll
it's
Google
still a link
It's on
to
the game.
Football Manager, isn't it? It's the game.
Have
part
you
of the game.
asked?
No, I will
forum?
go onto community.sigames.com.
I suggest you do that right this second.
I suggest you just DM Matt and get him to do it, and then he can ask about what the fucking chip processor benefit is of the new game. And
Getting back on the pod.
oh, he asked, and he
Thank
ain't
you.
fucking turned up.
I would like him back because it stops me having to sit here and talk to you like this.
Cheers.
Still hunting Asda.
Thanks for that, Phil.
Shall we jump on to saves?
Yes.
We've had a lot of press this week. A lot of people has been commenting on how wonderful Joe is at delivering a save update. So we'll save him for a little bit later. Let's get the shit ones out of the way first. So David,
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
talk us through your save.
Well-
He's proud of that.
Nice.
Isn't he?
Well done.
Fucking hell,
Well
chocolate
done.
boy.
It's going to be better than mine, Dave. I don't even have one, so do you know.
No, you go first then, man.
The end. Dave.
Have you not played at all this week?
No, I actually haven't played because I did up the vlog and I
Oh, I
haven't
wrote a
actually-
blog though.
We'll make sure we link
enough.
it, maybe.
Next week.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Where can we find the blog, Mad? Let's just tell us that. So yeah, just link
On
it.
the
Dave.
internet.
Brilliant. Save it
Is
there,
that all?
Dave.
Alright,
Come on,
yeah.
keep it going. Come on.
Yeah, so I've played a little bit since the last pod. I said I wanted to finish the season. I've done exactly that. Can't exactly remember the point that I was on the last pod, but we finished the season and it was successful. Well, successful in terms of results, frustrating in regards to other things. So I think since the last pod, I've finished unbeaten in the league, winning every single game. And in the South African Premier League, normally it's only top of the league that will get Champions League qualification. But Mamelodi Sundowns have been very good all season, dropped very, very few points and ended up winning the league on 76 points. But on the final game of the season, it appeared that the top two would get Champions League football. And I was I was close with Orlando Pirates. Basically, I needed them to drop points and me to win on the final game of the season. I thought, here we go. I could do this. So we won. We actually beat the Sundowns, but Orlando Pirates also won like 5-0. So in the end, they finished second on 71 points. We finished third. So we once again qualified for the Confederation Cup, which is, like I've said before, like the African equivalent of the Europa League. But I was still in the Confederation Cup and I thought, well, happy days. You know, if I win this, I'm going to get Champions League football until I check the rules. And the winner of the Confederation Cup just gets the reward of qualifying for the Confederation Cup again next year. So we didn't actually... I went on to win the Confederation Cup. I won it quite comfortably in the end. We have 2 legs in the final. I won 7-2 on aggregate. But won that. And obviously I didn't get Champions League qualification. So a little bit of a frustrating way to end the season, to be honest. I mean, look, I won the Confederation Cup. I won the League Cup. I won the sort of mini tournament they have at the start of the season. So I actually won 3 trophies and had a really successful season overall, but still 8 points off the league. Still, I didn't win the FA Cup this year. And still for season, what will I be in? Season 5, I won't be in the African Champions League. So it's been a little bit frustrating, really. I've looked at jobs throughout the preseason and toyed with maybe applying for certain jobs as jobs in European leagues. And although it won't immediately get to me to where I need to be in terms of a Champions League, it might give me a really good boost for reputation that I need. But at the moment, I think this is going to be, well, I'm going to stick with SuperSport for 1 more year. This year, I have to get Champions League football. If another job comes up in Africa or whatever, I might jump ship. But they've given me a good backing, good finances. Overall balance of the club is 5.5 million. My transfer budget has always been sort of 200, 300k. They gave me 2.5 million transfer budget this year, which was a huge, huge jump. So now I'm just trying to sort of, mold the team and make it to a much, much stronger team. I think main areas I'm looking at: a new centre half, new striker's not too bad. Mr. Peters, I still can't say his first name.
Andy.
He's a teacher, is he?
Yeah. It came up when his loan was expiring. It said he was interested in renewing his loan. I thought, oh, all right, let's have a look. And Genoa just said, yeah, just pay 50% of his wages and you can have him for free, or 80% of his wages, I think. And obviously no fee. I was like, sound. So he's staying again for another year. So I sold him for 450k and I've kept him on loan ever since. So yeah, I think my squad this coming season, it'll be the 27-28 season. It'll be the strongest squad that I've ever had. But it's just trying to get that consistency. I thought in the league, we were so good. We only lost 6 games throughout the year. And frustratingly, 2 or 3 of those were against teams much lower than us. So if we could just tidy up on that a little bit, stop conceding so many goals, I think we should push and hopefully push for the title.
Dave, can we talk about that centre half that you were looking at signing? That you talked about before we started recording. Maybe we can bring him up on screen as well, because I love this profile for a centre half.
Yeah, so I've been looking at a centre back. Obviously, I think I mentioned before that. Dude's put me off. I think I mentioned before in regards to the foreign player rules, you can only have 5 foreign players. I think that one of them what a couple of them from last season, well, their contracts are expired. Sorry, dude's putting me off. Mate, you are doing some, yeah. Shut up. Their
It's on
contracts are
Twitter, it's
expired.
not me, it's on Twitter.
My foreign players, their contracts are expiring. So I had Stephen Corker, for argument's sake, who hadn't really played. I had a young fullback, Diogo Batista, which I think Joe loved that name as well. His contract was expiring, so I'm going to be pushing for my best 5 players to take up those foreign player rules. But I need a new centre half anyway. But a South African centre half did pop up, who had 18 free kick taking, 17 long shots.
Yes.
He's a little bit older. He's like 32, so he sort of goes against the sort of squad, type of squad that I'm trying to build. But defensively, he's okay. 11 heading, 12 marking, 14 tackling, 6 foot. So he's okay. But he plays for Orlando Pirates, and they're reluctant to let him go at the moment. I think I put a bid in there trying to get like $500,000 for him. So I'll see if I can broker a deal, because he would be really good. And the amount of free kicks that I get and the amount of highlights I get for free kicks, and we come nowhere near. I think if I've got a free kick taker there, I'll be smashing in goals. But I'm looking at his goal record. He's only scored like 5 goals in the last 3 years. But I thought, mate, if he plays for my team, he's going to be scoring goals for fun. So yeah, that's what the main position I'm looking for, centre half. Just get a bit more depth in the fullback areas. I'm about to sign a guy on a free. He's called Johnny Quinones. He's Ecuadorian. Looks a very, very good player, but he's going to be on $8,000 a week. So by far my biggest earner. But that's what I'm going to do now. Chuck loads of money at the squad. See what happens. If it backfires, and I walk. But hopefully it'll work out. But the only other job that came up was Kaiser Chiefs, and I thought, Sam, they're a really big team, but turns out they finished below me in the league anyway, so wouldn't really gain anything from that. So yeah, hopefully season 27-28 is the big one, and I'm hoping by the next pod I should have a decent size update for you.
David, so Christmas, New Year.
Oh mate, that's it. It won't
When's
even
the
be the
next
25th
home?
of Jan.
That?
No, I ain't gonna be because I need to do 2 seasons really. I think in the next 2 seasons I'll win it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hoping in an ideal world I'm doing well Super Sport, and then Sundowns or Orlando Pirates sack their manager like midway through the season, and I can jump on that job. But
They're the ones that have been winning it, have they? Since you've been there.
yes, I mean in terms of the league, I think Sundowns. I don't know, there was a team called Amazulu won the 2 years before that, but they finished like 10th this season. But Sundowns won it this year, and they've always been towards the top of the league, really. So Sundowns or Orlando Pirates are the 2 that will be in the Champions League next year. So let's see what happens.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. It's exciting, mate, because I'll be honest, we're going to talk about my save update in a minute, and I've been doing the penny because of you. You've inspired me. I'm just hoping I don't win one before you do. So
I think you will.
Definitely going to.
I don't know. We'll talk about it shortly. But what do you think it is that's holding you back? Why are you not taking that step yet? Are you struggling with squad building? Are you struggling with being able to
Steam Cloud.
Yeah, Steam Cloud.
Or is it just
Steam
Steam
Cloud,
Cloud?
mate. Yeah, Steam Cloud. No, like in terms of like my win
Steam.
percentage is really, really good, and I think I mentioned it last pod. The amount of games that I lose is actually very, very little, and I think I've been unlucky with the form. So I got 68 points this season, right? Last season that would have been enough to win the league. The season before I would have finished second. The season before that I would have won the league. So like my points total is very, very good, but somehow I had 2 teams above me that were just as consistent as I was, really. So I need to stop losing the games against Orlando Pirates or Sundowns. I think
You
even
win,
if
that
I
would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, even if I drew those games, I would have been within a shout, because I'm sort of stopping them from getting all 3 points and creating that bigger gap. So,
But what do you do before those games? Do you actually look at changing anything, or you just keep pressing continue?
Do a fuck yeah! I just press
Quick
continue all the
pick,
time, so
yeah?
quick pick,
Yeah.
continue.
And then you wonder why you don't beat them.
A little
Yeah.
chat that me and Joe's had this afternoon, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah. But no, to be fair, I've been a bit savvier with in-game like management during games. I have been a bit better at that, and on this save, I do every press conference if that matters. But yeah, do stuff like that. But
So you do a press conference, but you probably don't look at the scout report, which gives you ideas of how to beat them.
yeah, but I'll have to sit down and watch more
okay.
streams or talk to you guys more properly about that, because I don't know Because you remember at the start of the year or the start of this game, you were saying do this on the tactic screen. I genuinely like, what the fuck am I looking at here?
Yeah.
And that's me being honest. So
I have to.
But there's
be
nothing
honest
wrong
as
with that.
well.
That's the reason why I'm saying it. Like,
Yeah.
because it's a similar. Like, it's no different for me in Portugal. Like, I'm going, I need to try and beat these teams, so I'm trying to. I'm looking at everything. All the game gives you so much information, but if you don't use it, and then you kind of go, well, I'll just click continue, and then I'm losing to them. But try and find a way.
I think I've got quite lazy, especially this season, because I mean, against 95% of the teams, 95% of the games I've pretty much won. Yeah, and then I should be beating them way better than them. But I think, especially the games against Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, Kaiser Chiefs, I probably need to take a lot more time to sort of consider those games. But I play a very attacking formation. I mean, you look at the goals I scored this season. I scored 83 goals in the league. The next team below me was 71. That's quite a big gap, really, in terms of goal scoring. So we had no issue with that, but we were just conceding too many goals.
What about players? Like, have you looked at them for big matches as a con? Because again, it's just little things like that can make a difference.
No, I've not really done anything like that, to be honest.
So your homework for this week is do a bit of reading.
I will do.
Not Mad's blog, just Football Manager.
There you go. My best striker, Con, doesn't enjoy big matches.
Well,
oh boy,
Chief.
The thing is, I have to admit, we had this discussion in stream earlier. Joe mentioned to me about you're just skipping into it, you're not looking in. I was like, do you know what? I don't. You're right. Let's have a little look. I then read up.
But I will say, don't fucking blow smoke up my arse here, because I said it's not that you don't know how to play the game. You're just complacent with it. You're just taking for granted that you've got a tactic that works, so you're hoping that it goes in. And I honestly think this game this year, like you know how much I've been playing it, and because I think it's better than the last few years, 100%. Like, I'm playing it a lot more because I find it challenging. Whereas before, you could just go plug and play, and it would pretty much do the business for you. And I think it's, as we said last week, it's been my favourite version for a long time, and the game makes me go back to it. Like, I want to go and play it. And although I'm saying about big team bias and shit like that, like, I will beat them. I will find a way to beat them. But again, it's just that you always do what you always done. You always get what you always got. And that's what you're doing. You're going, I've always plug and played. Once I've got a good tactic, get some good players, I'll win games. And I just think this year that you have to do a little bit more than that.
It was easy.
I agree. And I think you're absolutely right. I think the problem is I do just get lazy, especially when I'm on stream. Because you're not really that focused.
Not being funny. Let's be honest. You don't really care about that Deportivo save.
No,
it's your stream save, but like you don't love that save.
No, we're changing. We're going to change streams.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't love it, so you're just it's on stream because it's your stream save.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, and you can see that, and then it's just like, well,
I mean, I can say this out loud because this doesn't go out till Monday. But I think I don't want to play the Deportivo save. I'm playing it because I want to get back into streaming, and it's something that's just there readily available. I don't want to kill a save of a save that might be a good idea later down the line. So,
how much have you loved the little tactical tweak though?
Yeah, no,
the last week or so.
Yeah, I've changed it.
It's good, don't it? Because it's like you're changing one or two things, and you can see it changing in the match engine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I was getting back to then, it's like we did the scouting report for the game that we just played, and it stated that like they're terrible in the air. They've won like 0.4% of their fucking crosses into the box or corners. Defensively, make sure you go and counter them, and I made the tweak, and it's little things like that, it's like, they prefer to deliver to the near post with an outswinger. Okay, well, let's put people on the post, and it's basically, like you said, it's telling them how to fucking win the game, and it's there in front of you, and I have to be honest, I haven't looked at it.
But the information that you get isn't always accurate, but there's things in there that you can kind of go, oh, maybe I'll try that. Or if you've played them once,
telling you things,
yeah, you might have played them once already in the season, then you go back and you go, oh, do you know what? I remember him doing that, and it might be like sometimes it can be this. It's like the advice you get can be play this player, because his versatility helps with this, and like he might not be in your first 11, but you know what? You could play him and see if that benefits. Like I said to Dave, like enjoys big matches, or he doesn't enjoy big matches. That like, little things like that can just make a difference. It's always worth having a look.
Absolutely agree. And we had what was the one we had that they've scored something like 70% of their goals from a cross. So then I went in and nullified the crosses.
Yeah,
and,
stop crosses. Yeah,
and it's as simple as that, right? And they didn't score from a cross against me. I mean, they did score 2 against me, but that was a different matter. But yeah, different. But yeah, no, Dave. I'll be honest. I'll be learning with you, mate, because just relearning because I haven't been doing it. I've been so fucking lazy with it.
Yeah,
I think the
reckon
problem is
it'd be amazing when we're have an unbeaten season now next year.
Mhm.
But
We'll
it's
see.
just little things like that. Like, and I think even daft things like personnel, if I've like playing a big team, maybe play 2 slightly more defensive midfielders, or I do wonder if you're playing a bigger team, if they're going to play a high line, you have quicker wingers for argument's sake, or just little things like that, which I think I'll probably experiment with throughout the season. But just got to try and find a good balance in my squad. And see what happens.
I done a tweet, didn't I, fucking ages ago when I went and watched Sporting play before I played them, and just picked up some of the things that they were doing and then just applied it into the game. So not just relying on the information you get in a game, but like if you can be asked, just go and watch a game. Like, and you'll see, if you watch it on key highlights, you'll see the bits of movement and the players, what they're doing. And it just gives you little hints.
Yeah, it's
And that's
interesting.
how much I've been enjoying this year's game, because I'm fucking going and watching opposition's games.
Like you said, though, Joe, it's there in front of you. Like, it is
Yeah, I
there.
know.
If the information's there, we just got to be not lazy and look for them.
Well, also, Joe, like you've blitz saves in the past, like probably found them a little bit easy, and
I've never played a save that I've played this many seasons so quickly.
Yeah,
honestly, and
But,
like in the past,
it's not
it is
that
pretty
you're
much
winning
tactic.
everything, you know.
You can, I still think squad building is easy, like generating money's easy, like things like that. That's still, there's like basic principles that you can do, and within a few years you're comfortable. But I think the actual match engine is something that can be manipulated. And I think I said this to Duke before, like, you know, your tactics. If you've got a tactic installed, the AI, it's in Football Manager. Football Manager knows how you're going to play, and if it is learning and modifying to play against you, well, of course it will fucking beat you. You know. But so if you are using different techniques of, like, you know what you're going to do in game, we'll change it at the start. You know, I've said it before about with FIFA, like on Ultimate Team and stuff like that, people would start with a certain formation and literally they would change that formation as soon as they went into the game because it was a meta. Like, and I think there is something with that in FM. Like, if you change it, like, the AI doesn't know what you're doing. It might learn over time. I don't know how. I'm giving it a lot of credit, but that's the way I feel, is that you go into a game with a plan and then make changes.
Yeah,
I agree.
It could be bollocks.
No, but I like these sort of things. Yeah, and I think there's absolute legs with exactly what you're saying. And if they don't know what you're doing, they got to relearn it. Have they got enough time over that 90 minutes to relearn what you're doing? Is my question. Okay, should we jump over to Japan? We'll hold you off for just a little bit longer, Joe, because I want to kind of let you go like a coiled spring. I'm just going to quickly take you through my very what song, Joe? Yeah.
Oh, you're bigging me up here like this is something special.
I know,
coming.
but I do enjoy it. I can have a little fucking nap. So let me tell you about my time with Gambia Osaka over in Japan. Gambia Osaka.
Okay.
Why?
It's
Is it
not
Osaka?
it's Gamba Osaka.
Gamba. Oh,
Gamba.
Gambia.
I look like I'm in fucking Gambia. All right, sorry, Osaka. Yeah, Joe's Saver Updates cancelled this week. We've had some fun. We've had some fun in Japan. We stepped in and we basically took over where we got promoted into League Two with our old team. We managed to leave them and jump straight up to League One with Osaka. And it was quite exciting because it was just happened all so quickly. We got promoted and then bang, we got offered an interview and jumped straight in. And then we didn't really have a chance to look at the squad properly. And this is something that I raised with Joe, actually, a little feature request that I might write up. I'll get somebody else to do it for me.
To be fair, before he says it as well, this is actually a really good feature request, I think.
No, thanks for bigging it up. So I went into this job interview and it's a completely different league, 2 leagues above. I couldn't really make a full evaluation of the squad. I play with attribute masking on, so I can't see anything. So I've gone in and I can't make a full assessment of the squad to just make a decision of whether I want to go and sign for that that club. So my question was why, when you go for an interview, can you not get like a dossier of this is the squad, this is your key players, information that I would have thought in real life would be readily available. And it kind of be like a little pack that you can read before you go into the interview. The PA sends it over or whatever. You've got an interview lined up for this week. Here's the information on Osaka. You read it.
You don't go and read act in a film without reading the script first, do you?
No, exactly that. Agreed. I mean, I'll be honest. Even if I go for a job interview, I go and look at everything about the company, and I kind of drop it into the job interview. And I think that would be really cool because you're going in blind. You're going in completely blind, and you have no way of knowing whether that squad is what you think it could be. And you're taking a big jump to go for a brand new team, and you could take a couple of steps back.
Do you think, like, do you know when you take over a club and the first thing you see is like, this is our best 11, and it tells you like who the captain, who the hot prospect is, a couple of other bits on there. Like, do you think even just something like that?
It's already there. I mean, even if you just, I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, you could probably. I mean, the thing is, I've gone from not knowing a single player to hitting continue and accepting the job to knowing everything about everyone. I know every single attribute, every single player trait, and it's not like, so they've handed some information over on minute one. Why can they not just put something together? Oh, here's your key players, or this is people, because you walk in and you got people unhappy straight away. Well, let us know. You know what I mean? Put it all out there. Like, this guy's not happy. He wants this. This is something you got to sort out straight away if you come in. Do you think you'll be able to manage that without upsetting morale? You can include it in some of the questions. You know what I mean? And just kind of make it a little bit more immersive. But that's me. I like my being immersed. Immersed, is that the verb? I don't know. Fuck it. So yeah, that was my little feature quest. So if anyone wants to take that and write it up, feel free to do so. Because whenever I put a VAR skip button, I think I'll probably just banned from the forum now. So we'll probably
Dave will do
move
it.
on.
Dave is in there now. He can do it.
So let's just quickly jump through this because I don't want to take too long here. We've played 38 games. We have won 24 of them. We've drawn 10 and we have lost 4 of them. So we have actually won the league. We won it in absolute incredible fashion. I was streaming it to Joe in Discord. Dave wasn't there. No, he wasn't, unfortunately. Were you, Dave? It was a very interesting game because we were free. I think was it the 3-2 game, Joe? Yeah, they were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And Joe kind of suggested a few tactical tweaks. We scored in the 80th minute. We then scored in the 91st minute and the 92nd minute to basically hand us the league. We then only needed a point in the next game to win the league. So it was
missed out the tactical tweak there.
Yeah, I don't want to give all the secrets away, but basically they were playing 3 at the back. I was playing a 4-2-3-1, and we were finding that that striker was just getting isolated, and it was so congested at the top. You had the wingers there. It didn't look nice. So we dragged the shadow striker up, moved him into a striker. Starting positions completely different. We then changed the DLP to an AP attack, I believe. We then focused the ball to be a bit more direct. We tweaked the tempo. We slowed the game down a little bit. We made our passes a bit more meaningful. We tried whipping the balls in. We went early crosses as well, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we found that we had 2 over-the-top balls, which then equalized into a score. That's what we did as well. We pushed our lineup, didn't we? Pushed it up to higher press.
Yeah, higher press.
And it just caused a lot more space. We got in behind, and like I said, we scored 3 in the last 10 minutes to kind of basically win us the league, which was cool. We went on to win a little league cup as well, 3-1, quite a comprehensive win. And we finished the season in December. Bit like Mad, it's a bit weird, isn't it, Mad? Roll into the next year, so that I'm now in January 2029. And we had some really standout players. I won Manager of the Year, of course. We had top goal scorer, which was Kosho, who is just exquisite. Like, he's on my Twitter thread. Go check it out. It's my pinned tweet. Is the thread for the Penty. At the age of 18, he has 17 finishing, 15 composure, 15 acceleration. His technique is 14. He scored 25 goals in 42 games, but 20 of those were in the league with 4 assists in 30 games. He's averaged a 7.14. Now, like, you thinking, this is like outstanding, or you're thinking, oh, it's just the J League. The J League is full of absolute monsters. We are 5 years in the future. I get that, and there's a lot of youngsters that have come through, but this team is full of. I have a very good spine. I also have Totti, the ex-Wolves defender. I bought him for 50 grand at centre back. But apart from that, I've got a midfield pairing that are both just insane players at the age of 18, both of them. New gens that have come in. Also, I will just take this opportunity. I tweeted out on that thread about the Face Gen pack, which we've all just been bleating on about. The three of us have anyway, right? Fucking amazing. Like, if you haven't already, go check out. It is just insane. View from the touchline. Go check them out. It's very cool. There'll be a tweet for that on my Twitter. Anyway, Kosho, awesome. Wanted by every man and his dog. And when I say wanted by every man and his dog, that is including Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, the works, right? So he was valued about 3 million. I said you can go if you get 10, and he was quite happy with that. And he didn't really affect anything that he did. The only thing he can't do, which is really annoying me, is he won't accept me placing shots as his player trait. He just won't do it. So every time I've tried twice now for the course of the year, he's just failed it. It's just like he won't adapt to it, which is a bit strange. But again, we can't see his adaptability, so we don't know what's happening with that. Anyway, end of the season into January 2029. I decided to have a little look around just to see what's happening. We've got to wait till I think it's August now for the Champions League group stages, and the season starts very soon. And then I see that Kawasaki have got a job application available, and they're still in the Champions League. And the Champions League knockout stages start in January, so basically 2 weeks from where I'm at. I went for the job interview, didn't get the job. At the same time, Bournemouth were available for a job interview. They're 20th in the Premier League. And I thought, to be honest, whilst I'm doing interviews, I just want to see whether that's kind of the level I could get to. We do now have our Continental C. No, that's a lie. Yeah, Continental C license I currently have, and I'm working for the next one, which is Continental B. So we're quite high.
Continental C behind you, mate.
I mean, that's actually the African Sea. Very good, Joe. Very good. And I wanted to see, and we actually got offered the Bournemouth job in the Premier League. So that would have been in the December / January. So it's Christmas time. They were bottom, but we could have done some business with them. And then Kashimir Antlers, who came third last year, they came in. They sacked, or their manager went to Kawasaki. This job become available, and I was on stream with Joe, and I was like in Discord with Joe, and I was like, Joe, I think that this is the one. They're still in the Champions League. They're actually playing Kawasaki in the next round. This could be something that we could do. I'm going to go for the job. Went for it, got offered it. I'm sat there going, I shouldn't really take this, but worst case scenario, they finish third. They're in the Champions League next year. If we don't qualify, if we don't win the Champions League this year, we've still got a chance, but we've got a chance to win it a little bit earlier. I come in, I got their squad, and their squad again, it's just filled with like just incredible players. I'm very happy with the squad. There's a lot there, a lot that we can work with, and also there's £9.5 million in the bank, and we spent it on one player.
Bosh.
That player is none other than the chap that we had previously at Osaka. He has been bagging goals for us last season. We needed a striker to come in, win us the Champions League, and walk away. And that's what we've tried. So we've got him in. I haven't played the Champions League yet. I'm very nervous to start. But we've managed to bring him in. I think it was £9.5 million. It was structured. It is if we win the Champions League, they get paid. And if we win the league, they get paid. But I think we paid £1.5 million up front, and then the rest were genuinely just put on a never. And yeah, we've got some brilliant players. We're about to play Kawasaki in the cup, in the not semi-final. It's second round. The issue we do have is Saudi. Now, we've talked about Saudi before, but I was sharing with Dave and Joe some of the players that these guys have, and they are just insane. Like the talent that they have, even with the age of some of the people. Like we've got teams that have got Joshua Kimmich, Harry Kane in the team together, Livakovic in there, Kim Min-ji, Laporte, John McGinn in one team.
John
It's
McGinn.
just like, and there's
John
it's just
McGinn.
mental, like
John
absolutely
McGinn.
mental. And Al Hilal have won the last 2, so they're going to be the team to beat. Thing is, they're not in the Champions League anymore. They've been knocked out in an earlier round, so we have a really big chance that the holders have currently been knocked out. Kawasaki, who we're just about to play, were in the final last year. So there's a lot of narrative. They're going to want to get back up and try and win it. They lost it in the final. We're going to go jump into the final. And fingers crossed, we're going to take it and we're going to win it before Dave. And then move on to the next. I don't know. The Asian one, I think, is harder than the African, I'll be honest. And I think I got very lucky with the jump up. But I'll tell you this. This isn't the last time that I manage in Japan because I absolutely have been loving Japan. It is crazy. It's nuts at times that you could be out of a game and then bang, like they're just terrible. But the youngsters that are coming through Japan are just insane. If you haven't got Japan loaded, if you haven't started scouting Japan, I fully recommend you start scouting Japan because it is exquisite. But yeah, so fingers crossed. Maybe next week I'll come back. I will tell you that we have won or we have lost. I'll also update you on what our new save is on Twitch, which I have been live every single day this week that I've meant to be on Twitch. And will that be the same next week? But we'll be starting at a different time. I just haven't decided when. Yeah, that's about it. Right, Joe, are you ready?
For what?
Your little save update you got for us.
What would you like? 1 or 2
I think-
seasons?
One season, and then we'll drop the next season next week because I have realised I've just talked a lot there.
The second one is a good one, to be fair.
Well, you have to tune in next week.
And to be
find out.
fair, like I've actually, I've done some work here. That I don't know if
Look
you
at
can
this,
see. If
look
you're on
at
YouTube,
this.
you'll see it somewhere.
Look,
Like that's
Notebook.
That's season 6, season 7.
Oh my god.
Joe,
Look at that.
can I-
That's
He
Can I-
loves it, mate.
Can I be open honest with you? That's probably more than I ever writ in school. Just
no
there.
comment. No comment.
Joe also has fantastic handwriting. I have to
It's quite note takey. It's not perfect
very
here, mate.
neat.
This was scrawling just to make sure that I had some references because I'm flying through it. So I try and use the page just to write down some notes so that when I update it, I can reference back to some kind of key bits of the save. So should we go for season 6?
Let's go for season
Yeah.
6.
Season
Season
6 for
6.
Millicao. So after finishing second, level on points with Porto in the second season. Before I went into this season, I was desperate to finish top. Like I wanted to go all out, balls out. Let's just win this title because I'm like going into season 6. It feels like I need to win a league. It's one of them where I'm like, we're there, we're up there, battling with them every season now. And as I say, the results tend to be related to the bigger teams, so I kind of still feeling like I've got a little bit to go. But as I say, I was kind of positive. I'd built a good squad and thought this could be the season. But in true FM style, the FM gods had different ideas for Fernando Couto. We spoke about him on a Wonder Kid Watch, Gianluca Prestiani, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned then that he was an absolute knobrot. And
Sure.
the reason behind that basically was he wanted the players that I'm bringing in from like South America, places like that. They come in on pretty decent wages, like as in good for the club, like quite low. But they after like 20 games, they're saying, look, I'm a much better player than I was when I signed a contract. Can I have a new contract, please? But I'd probably say 9 times out of 10, they're pretty reasonable. You can say to the agent, look, you're asking for too much money. Can you be more reasonable? They'll drop it down, and I kind of go, yeah, that's fine. Let's get them signed up. Nice release clause. Look after the club. With Prestiani, he wanted like silly money. He wanted like between 80 and 90 grand a week, and he'd probably only played 50 games maximum for us. Didn't feel like it was. Well, I thought he was taking a piss, to be honest. But I tried negotiating loads of stuff, lower wages, higher performance-based bonuses. He held a high opinion of me, but I just couldn't. Probably 3 rounds of contract talks, couldn't get anything done. I think I spoke about this already, but eventually, basically, I went to the agent, went, come on, let's get this resolved. And he went, no, I don't even want to talk to you. and then literally walked out of that press conference, and Feyenoord come in, signed him for 26 million, which was his release clause at the time, literally like that, which left me in a bit of a pickle, because he's a very good player, and 26 million was well too cheap to be letting him go. Like, pretty much, I think I signed him for about 13 million something. So he made a profit, but nowhere near what he should be.
Did they
my
pay him, Joe?
captain-
Did they pay him what he wanted?
Feyenoord. They paid it was a fairly big whack on the wages.
Yeah.
Dave did ask last time, actually, if they had a bit of a windfall, and I haven't looked, to be fair. So I will go back and have a look what Feyenoord are doing. But also, I had my captain, Rosselli, I think his name is. He wanted to leave for a new challenge. To be fair, like, he was getting on a bit. He was in the team more for his mental attributes and being a leader than his technical attributes. And I had some good youngsters coming through. And I kind of went, do you know what? He's going to be going at some point. Why not cash in now? So he went to Torino for 2.7 million. Then Paul Ocon, one of our Benfica steals that we bought in. So at the start of the save, I'd been basically scouting all the lower teams of Benfica, Sporting and Porto, and then looking at players that weren't going to get first team football but really good for the league, and I'd been stealing them all the way along. And Ocon was one of these that I looked at him. He's a DLP, defensive midfielder type player. Picked him up for, I think it was 3 million, and then eventually sold him to Leverkusen for 9 million. So he went, and this was like this transition of kind of losing players. Like, he wasn't brilliant, but he was a good player for me. So I just had to start looking at who I'm going to replace him with. And then I've been tracking this new gen called Christian Escalante from Colón, Argentina. Signed him for 11.5 million, but I didn't really know where he was going to play. He's a bit of an attacking midfielder. I don't really play an attacking midfielder. So he's one of them that I'm looking at, well, where can I retrain him? Like, he's going to be money. Angelo from Chelsea, the Brazilian winger. Obviously, Prestiani went, so I needed to find someone. I didn't have anybody lined up. Like, there just wasn't any quality with value that I could bring in. And then he was on loan. So I thought, you know what, I'll bring him in on a 6-month loan whilst I'm out searching for a winger. And mate, he literally tore it up. What a player for the league. So obviously signed him in January, got him for 16.5 million. Should imagine, well, skip forward 2 seasons and I'm getting bids from Saudi for 55 million for him. So he's done all right for me. Another one to swing round there. And then obviously this is all pre-season stuff, but Samuel Suarez, goalkeeper, that again bought him in from Benfica. He's been a really good goalkeeper for me. He was kicking up a bit of a fuss, wanted to leave for Champions League football, and the normal thing that they kick up a fuss for. And when I've got unhappy players, I try and shift them on fairly quickly because I don't want them unsettling the ship. So I kind of agreed, said, look, if someone comes in for you, I think it was 18 million, like, you can leave. And a few teams were like interested, but no one actually made a bid for him, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But I replaced him with one of the FM Wonder Kids from this year, goalkeeper from AZ, who's Rome Jaden Owusu Aduro. Big name.
Linked to
Let me
Wolves.
try and say that.
Is he?
Yeah, been, yeah.
There you
You
go.
have to Get more,
1.5
more
million.
characters to tweet that, Dave.
That's it. That's why he's gone Twitter blue, mate. He 1.5 million, rising to 3.3 million. So absolute bargain. But as I say, nobody come in for Suarez, so I ended up having 2 first-team goalkeepers, which you can imagine how that went down. Obviously, I had to qualify in the Champions League again. Started against Rangers. On aggregate, beat them 3-0, which was, I thought, a solid result. Beat Sevco. That one's for Jace. Then had to play Leon in the next qualifying round. Beat them 4-3 on aggregate. That was a bit of a squeaky bum one, but again, a good solid side that you kind of think definitely is a strong European team. So I was happy with that, and I thought, you know what, that's a good start. I was kind of thinking, we'll get knocked out, go Europa League, and see if we can have a good run. But obviously qualify for the Champions League main again. Had Benfica, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Karabag, Dortmund, Bayern, Atletico Madrid, and Sturm Graz was the teams I got drawn against.
Wowza.
Thanks very much. Yeah. Lost to Benfica, lost to Barcelona, beat Inter Milan 4-3, beat Karabag 3-1, lost to Dortmund 2-1, beat Bayern Munich 2-1, Beat
Yes.
Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano 6-1.
Whoa.
Absolutely give them a dick in. And I kind of called that my revenge mission because they were an affiliate club and they took that affiliate away because our stature in the game was too high. So shove that up your ass. Beat Sturm Graz, which got us through into the playoffs for the Champions League, where we drew Celtic. So we started with Rangers, and unfortunately we ended with Celtic. Drew 1-1 away, and then drew 2-2 at home, and then they beat us on penalties. And I say they beat us; they scored all theirs. We missed one of ours, so it was our own doing. But that knocked out of the Champions League at the group stage, like at the knockout stage again. But I think I said to Dupe when we was in Discord that, do you know what, the money from the Champions League is worth about 30 million a year, compared to being in the Europa League. So it's like you just earn money left, right, and centre for just being in the Champions League. Obviously, if you win games, it's a lot more profitable, but you do get a good handout from Champions League money. So it's just kind of boosting the bank balance all the time. But yeah, it wasn't to be, and I wasn't overly disappointed. Like I say, I can't even win the league in Portugal, so how do I expect to be winning European competitions at the moment? So yeah, I'm not too disappointed. But in the league, mentioned him earlier on, James Milner's Porto, which still baffles me to this day. They literally, from mid-season, they were effing incredible. Like, they just were battering people. And I thought when Vincent Kompany was there, he done well. But James Milner, like his team, he was literally just battering everyone like 4, 5, 6 nils every week. It was incredible. And I just couldn't keep up with them. After every European game, and I was kind of rotating to be stronger in Europe than I was in the league, I was just dropping points because I was rotating the team for, trying to keep everybody fit and healthy, and obviously sharing some game time around the squad. It just didn't work out for me, and I actually ended up with my worst result since the second season, which was finishing fourth. I finished fourth with 13 points more than I did the first time I finished fourth. So it is still a better season, and that kind of goes some way to showing how good the other teams are. Like, they were just getting loads of points, and I can still finish fourth with 13 more points than I did the last time I finished fourth. But my top scorer was Samu Omarodian again, 24 goals in 35 games. Lovely little striker, mate. I would imagine in the next couple of seasons I'll be selling him for good money because he's bagging all the time. Most assists. Do you remember I spoke about that Portuguese right back that I signed for silly money, where I'd done the pursuit on him? He's actually got most assists for me. So the right back, absolutely bombing, and mate, he's worth silly money. Signed a new contract and he didn't want a release clause either. So it's one of them that I'm gonna dictate how that one goes. But he's a leader as well. Like, he's got good leadership attributes.
Was that the 16-year-old? Sorry,
he was. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, he's like 18 now, I think so. No. But he develops so rapid. Lovely little player. I'll stick some of these in Discord so you can add them in if you want, Dave.
Yeah, I need to see them.
But I pretty much got to the end of that season. I was a bit devoed, to be fair, because it was the last season at our stadium before we moved into the new one. And then literally about a week into kind of breaking up and everyone going on holiday, both of my centre halves, both new gens, they got snapped up for their release clauses literally a day after each other. I had a centre back from Sao Paulo called Douglas. He went to Liverpool for 33.5 million. And I'd signed him literally 18 months before for 13.5 million. And then I've had a Colombian centre half called Faber Carrera. And he went to Chelsea for 46.5 million. And I signed him for 3.5 million. And mate, he is, honestly, I'll stick his screenshot in because he looks mustard, mate. How I come up with that signing him, I don't know. I can't even remember how I found him. I think it was one of them that I'm probably looking at a youth international tournament, and he's just kind of stood out. And I've just done a deal for 3.5 million. But yeah, certainly made a few quid on him. But obviously gave me a massive headache because I now need to sign two first team centre halves. And honestly, moving into a new stadium, so I'm kind of like season 7. As I started this one, there's like balls out. I want to go for it. And as I say, I've got season 7 done. I know the results, but it's going to be, new stadium, new tactic. I'm changing away from the 4-4-2, but I'm going to give it a right good go.
What's your percentage you get from those sales, Joe?
100%.
revenue. Yeah.
Oh.
100%, mate. Mate, I'm financially,
Yeah,
astute.
no.
I've got. It's weird because I've obviously over the years just been boosting the bank balance all the way up. But as I sell players, like you get 100%. But it's got to a point now where I've got my transfer budget is probably about 140 million, and I've got 120 in the bank. It's like I don't get it. Like that always, I never get the logic. But like, I won't spend it. I'll always like these two centre halves have gone for 80 million, and I'll probably go and replace them for 20, 30 million for the pair. So it's like you're never going to be losing money. So it's just going out and just keep, and that's the way to do. Like I've spoken to a few people that have gone, I'm doing a save in Portugal, and it's like there's so much talent there that if you get them and you get them playing well, they'll like the bigger teams just come in and want the players, and the players will always want to leave as well because they're always going to be playing for a higher reputation club. Like as a league, it's moved from the 6th highest league in Europe to the 5th highest league, so it's on the way up now. So obviously. But my squad, I remember playing that first season, and I was talking to Dave about Chiquinho, and I was like, my highest paid player is like 10 grand, and now it's probably like 70 grand for Echeverri or something like that.
Wow.
So it's like it's massively grown, but like it will do when you're playing in Europe every year. You know, players want good money, and we've got money in the club, so it's fine to spend that. But like Echeverri's probably had 3 new contracts since he's been with me, so he hasn't been on 70 grand like the whole time. It's like he's getting to that point now where he's someone's going to buy him, so he's on good money and he's going to get me good money. So it's all good.
It sounds
Cracking.
all good. Yeah, well, hopefully.
It was a
everyone-
shit season for me, mate, to be fair.
Yeah, we flew through it though. You flying through it, man? Yeah.
Oh, mate,
It-
honestly, like
It's so nice. We
A
just sit in
Sunday-
Discord, all of us as mate. Oh wait, hang on.
There we go.
here we go. But no, to be honest, like the last season, I think on the Sunday we was in, and I probably played like 10 a.m. and then we had all the NFL stuff. I mean, it was probably about 2 o'clock. But I
Yeah, we
stopped
stayed
playing,
up
like, and I
late
just
both
had it. I
times.
had just had it on, mate, and was just flying through the games, just going through it. And again, like, I don't think complacency is coming into this one for me, but I think it's more that I'm trusting in some younger players in games after Europe and things like that, where I'm like, the player when you look at them is good enough, but I think when you do too much rotation, it comes back and bites you in the ass. So I'm gonna run them until they die, mate. You got to die for 3 points.
Love it. Well, I think that's a lovely end to that segment. I think we're also going to miss out the Adventures in Wonderkid. We will pick that up next week. Dave, how quick's this quiz, mate?
It'll be quick. The quiz will be quick, mate. The quiz will be quick.
One question only.
One question, go.
Winner takes it.
Yeah. No. So it's a quiz sort of similar to, well, it's not similar to Mad's quiz last week, but he did the AFCON theme. I'm doing an Asia Cup theme. So it's all about Asians that have played in the Premier League. I would say these are pretty straightforward, to be honest. So you should get all of them. I'm going to be ultra cruel as well and implement the Viking down rule, which has not been seen on this podcast for a long time. Basically, if you get a question wrong, you lose a point for any of the new listeners. So let's kick off. 10 questions. Question 1, please name the missing club. Red Bull Salzburg, FC Liefering on loan, Hamburg on loan, blank, Wolves.
Oh, who does fucking Hang Wei Chang used to play for? What was his name? The Asian chap, a striker. Who did they buy him
Mad.
Red Bull Salzburg. Go on, Mad.
Mad. It's Red Bull Leipzig.
Yeah, it is Leipzig. Yeah,
Okay.
1 point.
Actually,
Right
I
in
thought you
the
said
right
Leipzig.
No, Salzburg, 2 loans. Then it was Leipzig. Dude obviously knew the thing. It was the clubs that Juan
Still
Chen has
know.
played for.
Wang
Which
Hee-chan.
Chinese international player played for Charlton when they were in the Premier League in the 2006 to 2007 season? He then moved on to Celtic for 1 season after that. I think he played for Charlton for 3 years. Which Chinese international?
What's his name?
Charlton in the Premier League for 3 seasons, is that what you said?
Yeah, I think Charlton went down maybe the 2nd or 3rd season,
Okay.
but he was at Charlton definitely for 3 years. But he played in the Premier League.
Between.
If you want a clue, his name begins with a Z.
Is it Zheng Ji?
It is Zheng Ji.
What a shout.
Yeah.
Just trying to go back in the old The old noodle there.
That was FM days, yeah.
All I remember about Charlton really is Robin van Persie's volley.
Yeah.
And
Which-
Kerbishley. I swear
Oh,
that's my only
Kerbishley,
reference to him.
I've been to their ground. It's an alright ground, to be fair, when we played in the Championship as well. Which Japanese winger had spells with Arsenal, Bolton, and Wigan Wanderers? Mad.
Junichi Inamoto.
No, incorrect. That's not who I've got here.
Oh, mad.
That was
Oh, hang
literally
on.
what I was about to
Mad.
say as well.
Negative point.
That is a negative point, but Mad,
Oh,
go
shit.
again.
Ryu
Ryo Miyashi,
Miyaki.
yeah.
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 Just
it's
fucking
Ryo
give him
Miyashi.
the name. Rio.
No, he said
And then
that
he's like,
first.
oh yeah.
He's still on 1 point, yeah, because he got one wrong, so he lost the point, and then he got one back.
Great.
Goalkeeper Ali Al Habsi had spells with 2 Premier League clubs, Bolton and Wigan, but which nation did he represent?
Dupe.
Dupe.
Oman.
Oh man, yeah,
That's a
he's
shout.
correct. Dupe
That's a
on
good
the
shout, that is.
board.
Very good.
Nice.
done.
South Korean international Lee Chung-yong played almost 200 games for Bolton Wanderers, but which other Premier League team did he play for?
Portsmouth.
Incorrect.
Swansea.
Incorrect.
Are we all minusing one in here? This Viking.
No,
banner
I
has
think
to
that
be
was
like
key.
this.
That was yeah. Swansea did have one, but that was key. Dupe playing it
Dupe?
safe. I like it. Dupe.
Palace.
It was Crystal Palace. Dupe's in the ascendancy now.
Whoa.
Nice. Which Chinese forward did Manchester United sign in 2004?
Oh,
Mad.
Oh,
Dong Fangzhuo.
It was Dong Fangzhuo to make just one appearance for the Red Devils.
commercially, we won at that. I'll be honest.
Mate,
we
you know
won
what? I
that.
looked at his record because you guys couldn't get a work permit for him. Loaned him out to Antwerp. Mate, his record there was unbelievable, to be
Yeah,
fair.
he was a good player.
Yeah.
We did obviously win financially.
Yeah. Which player won the Puskas Award in 2020 for his goal against Burnley in the 1920 season?
Bad.
Son.
Mad.
I was going to say Son.
Yeah, it is Son. Yeah. Son Heung-min. So his solo goal
Had
when
to
he
be.
ran through the whole team.
Yeah.
We all overthought that a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I thought I've got to get him in somewhere, but how can I not make it that obvious? But I think this is probably the hardest one, the hardest question. Name the player from his career path: Fulham, Leatherhead on loan, Charlton on loan, Bristol Rovers on loan, Crewe Alexandra on loan, Oldham, Charlton, Walsall, Cardiff City, Birmingham City. Currently still playing. You'll probably know him best from his time at Cardiff.
Cardiff in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I ain't got a fucking Scooby.
Read the clubs out again, Dave.
I'll ignore the loan clubs. I'll go Fulham, Oldham, Charlton, Walsall, Cardiff, Birmingham.
For Fulham or Bolton in Premier League at all when he played in it? Was it just
I think it was just Cardiff. I don't think he played any games for Fulham. You'll know him best from his time at Cardiff or maybe Birmingham if you follow Football League. It's not a huge Asian in terms of football. It's not one of the famous Asian countries. Massive clue. It's a goalkeeper.
Oh, fucking! I know it is. He's not, I know exactly who it is. Fuck! What's his name? I can picture him. Oh, what's his name? What's his name? Guess his initials, Dave.
N.
Neil.
E.
Neil. Yeah. Oh, what's his fucking? What is his fucking name?
Is he currently at Birmingham?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know he is. I can fucking see him as well. There was some shit went on recently, wasn't it? Or he had some beef, didn't he?
Yeah, he's not in the team at Birmingham. No.
Did you say N is he just got one kind of name?
No, N-E.
N-E.
Yeah, I'll leave that one. Saves you any of you getting.
I can't even. I know the name.
Neil Etheridge. Yeah, Neil
From
Etheridge,
where?
the goalkeeper.
I know who he is,
Philippines?
but where-
Philippines, yeah.
Philippines.
Philippines, yeah.
Crikey.
So he is English born, but he's played, I think,
Mm.
over 70 games for Philippines now. Which Asian forward won the Premier League with Leicester in 2016?
Dupe.
Mad.
Dupe.
Okazaki.
It is Shinji Okazaki.
To be fair, I thought that last question was the last one, and I just switched off of
No,
it. Then.
no. Last question now. Park Ji-sung is one of the most notable Asian players who have ever played in the Premier League. But who did he join after leaving Manchester United?
Is it a Dutch club?
No.
Dupe.
I
Dude.
know where he came from.
QPR.
It was Queen's Park Rangers, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I was
that
thinking
is
of
all...
Kikawa because he went to Dortmund, and
See, I was gonna do-
do.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
do like a career path with Kagawa, but it was a bit bait. So
Yeah, he's.
scores on the doors. I mean, the Viking down rule really shafted some of you there, but
Dupe has
Joe,
to be winning this, surely.
yeah, Joe unfortunately ended on 0.
It's not unfortunate, mate.
No.
Terrible quiz.
Fuck off. Mad on 2 and Duke running away with it with 4 this week.
I prefer
I'll
the ones you
give
can cheat easier on. I'll be honest.
It's,
Like the
yeah.
ones that Mad does, they're a bit easier. You can
Mm.
cheat a lot easier.
Asian
I
football.
mean, Asia at the moment now. Come on. Right, that does
makes
bring
sense.
episode 336 to a close. You
There
can
we
find
go.
the links for each of us in the podcast description or by visiting 5starpotential.com, where you can find all of our latest Football Manager content. Not Mad's blog, though. 5-Star Potential is available on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and most other popular podcast apps and platforms with a new podcast released every single week. Thank you all for listening. Say goodbye, folks. There'll be more from us next week.
Goodbye, folks. There'll be more from us next week.
Adios.
Just had a different order.
Next
Just
week. Goodbye,
late.
folks.
Guten Tag.